As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium as we are getting set for game number 2. Post State is out on the field now as we go through the starting lineups for Sioux Falls East. It'll be Grant Graber to lead things off. He's a DH. Ty Schaefer, the third baseman, will bat second. Garen Heiner, the shortstop, batting third. Nate Sprakel, the center fielder, will bat fourth. Jackson Bowe, the first baseman, batting fifth. Miles Reese, the second baseman, batting sixth. Aiden Beck will bat seventh, be the catcher. Pat Osborne is out in right field, batting eighth. And Nick Lounsbury, the left fielder, will bat ninth as they go against Bennett Dean as we are set for baseball here in game number 2. You're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station as game number 2 will get underway with the first pitch from Dean to Graber, taken for strike one here at 3:07. So just about right on time for that second game to be underway. Actually, I think it was scheduled for a 3:30 start, so that we're a little bit ahead of time, and Graber will get a base hit to open up the ball game as he'll line it over the head of Kane Knowles at short and the leadoff man aboard. Here in the top of the first inning. 11 hits in game number 1 for Sioux Falls East. And they pick up right where they left off with a leadoff single. Here's now Ty Schaefer. Schaefer went 2 for 4 in game 1. Reached base 3 of the 4 times he came to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Dean to Schaefer. He'll show bunt. He'll bunt it in front of the plate. Barehanded by Henkel. The throw to first is in time. And there's now one down. The sacrifice is complete for Schaefer. And there's two batters have quickly come to the plate. Just 3 pitches for 2 batters so far.
And that bunt's probably a situation where that's you're kind of looking at what you do in a game situation. You know, can a player like Schaefer get a bunt down in a game situation to try to move a runner over, and he was successful in that trip.
First pitch swinging and a miss by the number 3 hitter Garen Heiner, the shortstop, who went 0 for 2, reached base twice. Did Heiner with 2 walks. He was a ground out and a pop out in his 2 trips to the plate. There's 2 at-bats in that game. 0-1 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 1-1. For Bennett Dean, this is his second appearance, first start of the season. Inning and 2/3, his first trip out. ERA is 8.4 right now with 2 runs, both of them earned. As the 1-1 pitch is missed low and is now 2-1. He gave up 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, hit a man in his inning and 2/3 so far this season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And will bounce in off of Henkel. The runner takes for third. The throw in and sliding in safely. And a good job by Wiebe over at third base to scoop it up. So it doesn't go into left field, but it's now a runner on third base. Count is 3-1 here to Heiner with 1 down here at the top of the first inning.
Dean primarily used as a reliever throughout the spring season. Did have 2 starts in his 8 appearances, and that's just a little different mindset. You're trying to go much deeper into a game, so you're trying more to pace yourself as opposed to having the mindset of a reliever where you come in and you're really just dialed in, trying to give your team 1, maybe 2 good innings.
He did have 3 saves. I believe 3 saves, might have been 3 saves over the high school season. Went 3 for 3 in those save opportunities. Nate Sprakel will come to the plate with the runners at the corners. Here with 1 down the top of the first inning. Here's the first pitch to the cleanup hitter. Runner takes off for second. The throw goes all the way through. And on second, standing on second, is Heiner. Didn't even slide. But the throw is a little offline to second. Hansen made the catch, tried to cut back to make the tag, but could not. So the count is 1-0, and runners are at second and third here with 1 down.
Yeah, if that throw is not off on the third base side of second base, Hansen probably has a chance to make a play.
The 1-0 pitch on the outside edge, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one will miss low, and it's now 2-1.
84 degrees at first pitch here in game number 2 for the second game of this doubleheader between Sioux Falls East and Pierre Post 8.
And it feels great up here in the press box, as all. And I think it would probably feel good downstairs, too. 2-1 pitch is at the letters, and it's now 2-2. And I will say, again, news director Zach Nelson said it was 104 officially yesterday at the airport, and it's 84 degrees, he said, at first pitch.
Yes.
And, 20-degree difference, 20 degrees cooler. That makes a little difference being outside. 2-2 pitch, That one misses low, and the count's now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sprinkle will be followed by Jackson Bowe, who had 5 RBIs in that first game in that 14-2 win for Sioux Falls East. Here's the payoff pitch to Sprinkle. Comes inside and walks, and the bases are now loaded here with 1 down. Second walk issued by Dean here in the first inning.
And again, walks continue to be an issue for this post-state pitching staff. Gave up 9 in game number 1 and already 2 here in the first inning of game number 2.
So now here is Jackson Bowe. Went 3 for 4 with a home run. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Drove in a run in the top of the first, hit that 2-run homer, and then drove in another 2 runs with a single in the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a big swing and a miss by Bowe, and it's 1-1.
Again, you're just 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. If you can get a bases loaded, you can get a ground ball right at somebody. You can either come home, try to do home to first double play or something in the middle of the infield, get you a 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 double play.
1-1 pitch is in the dirt and blocked up by Hinkle, and the count's now 2-1. Yeah, a ground ball with the corners in would go home with it. A ground ball back to Dean. And then even up the middle and get a 6-4 or 4-6-3 double play. Here's a ground ball off the glove of Dean. Be flipped to second for 1 from Hansen. Back to first, and there's your double play to get you out of the inning. A 4-6-3 double play ends it here in the top of the first. And Post State will tiptoe out of danger in the top of the first inning. No runs, so 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to, 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. It is no score between Pierre and Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back, bottom of the first inning, as we go through the batting order for Post State, Lincoln Keenels will lead things off. He's a shortstop. Cade Hinkle bat second, catching. Andy Gordon, the first baseman, batting third. Jaden Wiebe will bat in the cleanup spot, playing third base. Jack Merkwan, the center fielder, batting fifth. Matt Hansel will bat sixth, plays second base. Gary Nedved, the DH, will batting seventh. Isaac Pollock, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Brecken Kruger is out in left field as he bats ninth, as they go against Gage Sharping. As Sharping did not pitch on Wednesday. We have not seen any of those pitchers that threw on Wednesday. The 7 that were on the mound for Sioux Falls East have not come to pitch yet in this doubleheader, as Sharping will deal with Lincoln Keenels to open up the bottom of the first. He is 1 for 3 as Keenels in game number 1. Here's the first pitch to him. That one's right down the middle for strike 1. Good velocity on that first pitch from Gage Sharping. Here's the 0-1 pitch from the tall right-hander. Keenels will foul that one out of play on the right side, and we'll now do it 0-2.
And again, Sharping a different style of pitcher than what Post State saw in game number 1 out of Tyler Boyum. Boyum a little more reliant on the off-speed stuff. Sharping, like you said, John, big, strong right-hander, likely to more come and rely on establishing that fastball early in the count to try to make the off-speed stuff look a little more dangerous.
0-2 pitch was missed inside. Now here's the 1-2 pitch to Keenels. He'll ground that one to the first base side. It's going to be fielded, but nobody's covering first, so an infield single here for Lincoln Keenels.
Yeah, Bo had to go far to his right off the first base bag, and a nice play by Reese, who actually made the play right on the edge of the grass. But he came a long way from his second base position. Came a long way to his left, and actually made the play. Had the ball in his glove, but Sharping did not come off the mound. If he's off the mound, Reese has a play, and if Sharping's over covering first base.
So now it'll be Cade Hinkle as they're working their defense positioning around. But the catcher's pointing at the shortstop and second baseman. The shortstop and second baseman are pointing at each other. They're trying to figure out how they want to play this with a runner on first base. I think who's supposed to be covering the bag if there is a steal attempt. Before the first pitch, there's a pickoff attempt at first, and Keenels is able to get back in safely. Here's now the first pitch from Sharping to Hinkle. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
And the 10 guys in this lineup for Post 8 is likely who you will see throughout the bulk of this game, as Post 8 only has 3 players on the bench, and 2 of them are a little banged up. So you've only got really Brady Getz is really the only healthy bench player right now for the Eights.
And in all reality, because of that, Getz will probably only come in if there's an injury. He probably will not play in this game unless there is an injury, because you don't want to pinch hit for him, have somebody out, and then you get someone injured, and you don't have enough bodies to field the full 9 men. As the 0-2 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 1-2 here to Hinkle. Now, Elliott Life, McGuire Rasky, Jack Van Camp all not here today. I believe they will return for Wednesday's doubleheader against Watertown. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Keenels takes off, and the pitcher did not start his motion to home. And now a throw back to first, and they got Keenels picked off at first base. So the leadoff man is thrown out. That long pause, and why pitchers do that, is that's the example of it. Because the hitter's ready to go, the runner's ready to steal, and Keenels didn't have enough patience to wait for that first motion from Sharping. And he gets picked off at first base. And a good job by Sharping to only make one throw back to first base to pick him off. As Cade Hinkle now waits on the 1-2 pitch upstairs, and the count's now 2-2.
And as a base runner, when you're leading off of first base with a right-hander like Sharping on the mound, when a right-hander is working out of the stretch, what you do is you look at that back heel. You look at that right heel, because for a right-hander to pivot and throw back to first base, he's got to spin a full 180 degrees, and so in order to pivot, he's got to pick up that back heel, and so what you're doing is you're lasering in on that right heel, and if you see any other movement, you know that right-handed pitcher has to go home.
As the 2-2 pitch was bounced in, and it's now 3-2. As Hinkle trying to get back that base runner here for the Eights. The 3-2 pitch. That one will miss low. It was 0-2 on Hinkle, and he draws a walk, and it's now 1 on and 1 out here for Andy Gordon. And also as for Sharping too, it would have been easy to throw it to second or throw it to first as soon as he stepped off, but instead he ran at Keenels, made him make a decision on if he was going to go to first or second, and then a quick throw to first base was able to pick him off to get him out and pick Keenels off. Instead of making that quick throw, you can go run at him the first time. Gordon will ground to the left side, fielded by the shortstop, and Heinert throw to second for 1. Back to first is not in time, and it'll be a fielder's choice. So there's now 2 out and 1 man on for Jaden Wiebe.
Yeah, kind of a routine ground ball that Heinert had to go one step to his right to get. Kind of took him over in the hole, made a little bit of a longer throw over to Reese at second base, and that was just enough to add a little extra time into the turn, and with that, Gordon's able to leg out the down to first base and keep the inning alive for the Eights, as they've got 2 outs now and a runner on.
First pitch to Jaden Wiebe misses for ball 1. Wiebe went 0 for 2 in game number 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will miss low, and it's now 2-0.
Wiebe became playing playing third base today, kind of set in as a fixture at second base through most of the spring season, and was able to really man that position well throughout almost from day one of the first set of doubleheaders out in Rapid City in early April all the way through the end of the season in the regional tournament.
2-0 pitch is a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-1. As Sharping will come set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Here's a chopper up the middle. Will be fielded by Heinert behind the second base bag. The throw to first is in time, and that will retire things here in the bottom of the first inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the second. We have no score between Pierre and Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post-State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com.
When something just isn't right, it's natural to talk about it.
If you had a toothache, you'd tell someone. If you found out you had diabetes, you'd learn to take care of it.
But when you're feeling stressed, sad, or worried, you're less likely to tell someone.
Why do we treat physical and mental health so differently?
There is no difference. We all need someone to talk to, and there's nothing shameful about wanting to be healthy for you.
When you just need someone to talk to, contact Rising Hope Counseling at 494-1500 or risinghope605.com.
Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Rising Hope Counseling, because if you have hope,
You have everything.
Hey, it's Julia from Milwaukee Federal Credit Union, letting you know that our recreational special is back again, with terms up to 10 years, no payments for 90 days, and rates as low as 2.4% APR. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre and let Jameson or I get you started.
People helping people. Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
Top of the second inning is no score so far between Sioux Falls East and Post State, as it'll be for Sioux Falls East coming up 6, 7, and 8. Miles Reese, Aiden Beck, and Pat Osborne by Regis base number 9 hitter Nick Lounsbury. That first inning that they got a run, or excuse me, got a runner on leadoff single, but was stranded at third base after a sac bunt and then a double play with the bases loaded to get out of that first inning. Coming up this week, we have for you 3 more days of games. It'll be 6 games over 4 days, as Post State will host Watertown on Wednesday. First pitch at 5 o'clock, and the second game to follow. Second day, the next day on Thursday, they take on Mitchell and another doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock. And then on Saturday, the second Renner team will come to town. Here's the first pitch from Dean. There's a line shot in the right center field. That's down for a base hit and should be extra bases to kick off the top of the second for Miles Reese. All the way up against the wall. Pollock will pick it up. The throw coming in. It's going to be a leadoff triple here for Miles Reese as he stands up on third base to open up the top of the second inning. Second hit of the ball game now for East.
Yeah, sat on a first pitch fastball and just drove it the other way, all the way to the one hop to the wall, just to the right of the 378 sign out in right center. And Sioux Falls East has another runner in scoring position here, this time to lead off the top of the second.
First pitch to Aiden Beck will miss low for ball 1. Beck in game number 1 went 1 for 3 with an RBI double. He walked and also came around to score. There's a ground ball up the middle that'll get the run home. The throw from Keenels at short is in time, so it's an RBI ground out, and East strikes first. And there's one down here in the top of the second.
Ground ball right to Keenholz at shortstop, but Reese off on contact, and Keenholz made the smart play, just goes across the diamond to get the sure out at first base, and Sioux Falls East has struck here first again here in game number 2, just like they did in game number 1, and now lead 1-0.
First pitch is outside to Pat Osborne here in the top of the second inning with 1 down. Nick Lounsbury would be on deck. Counts now 2-0. Here to Pat Osborne. Did not play in game number 1, so this is his first at-bats. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Just a bit upstairs, and the count is now at 3-0. Lounsbury and Osborne are the 2 additions to this lineup from game 1 to game 2. 3-0 pitch. That one is right down the middle, and the count's now 3-1. Bases are clear here in the top of the second with one down, a 1-0 lead for Sioux Falls East. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's upstairs, and it's a one-out walk. Third walk issued so far here in the ball game from Dean. That'll bring up Nick Lounsbury, who is also getting his first at-bats today after not playing in game number 1.
Again, you really just hope that the walks don't come back to bite you. But right now, 3 in an inning and a third for Bennett Dean.
First pitch is over for strike 1 to Lounsbury. Lounsbury threw 5 innings against Watertown in that game 1 win. 5 hits of shutout. Well, he didn't shut out the Watertown. He had 0 earned runs. It was 3 unearned runs. 8 strikeouts, 4 walks. As that one will bounce and nearly hit Lounsbury. When the count is now 1-1. But still even a good block there from Hinkle. As Osborne has to stay over at first base.
Again, we've talked about how good Cade Hinkle is at blocking balls. I mean, he uses every part of his catching gear, whether it be the glove, the chest protector, the helmet, the shin guards, just whatever he needs to do to keep that ball in front of him and keep the runner from advancing.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. That one is fouled back off the umpire, and the count's now 2-2.
Alan Goodman kind of took a beating on Thursday night. A couple of balls that found their way either into his collarbone or off his arm, and so. But like the trooper he is, puts the gear back on, is behind home plate today.
2-2 pitches upstairs, and the count's now 3-2. That's why he invests in good equipment. They came into use on Thursday, coming into use again. See if the runner goes in motion here with a 3-2 count with 1 down. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Runner did not take off, but Lounsbury strikes out, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the second to bring up the top of the order, and Grant Graber, who's 1 for 1.
Yep, you're right. I mean, anytime you get back behind the plate with fastballs coming in likely in the mid 80s and balls being turned around coming off the bat at who knows what kind of speed. I mean, those are lethal weapons, or could be if you're not geared up properly.
First pitch misses for ball 1 to Grant Graber, who singled and was stranded at third base back in the top of the first inning. Pitches upstairs, back pick attempt, and they don't get him out at first base. Diving back in safely is Osborne.
Osborne probably about 4 or 5 steps off of first base with his secondary lead, and Hinkle with the pop throw down to first. And nice grab by Andy Gordon, who actually just had his back to the base runner and just dropped the ball with his left hand down right into Osborne's shoulder as he was coming back into the bag.
2-0 pitch miss, and the count's now 3-0 to Graber. Here's a 3-0 pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Graber in game 1 went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He did get a single to open up here game number 2. 3-1 pitch, good hitters count for him. He'll take strike 2 though, as he thought about offering at the 3-1 pitch, but it was on the outside edge, let it go. And it's now 3-2, and this time Osborne will take off with 3-2 count and 2 away. Here's a 3-2 pitch upstairs. And a walk issued, now first and second with 2 away. And bring up Ty Schaefer, who had a sacrifice bunt in his first plate appearance. 1-0 here in the top of the second for Sioux Falls East. They get the leadoff triple and then an RBI ground out from Beck. That's the first pitch from Dean to Schaefer. At the letters for strike 1.
Looks like Dean has generally been able to spot that fastball. If he can be consistent with the off-speed stuff with his second and third pitch, he could have himself a good outing. But so far, just hasn't quite been able to consistently find the corner of the plate with that curveball.
Yeah, the 0-1 pitch went through the zone but ended outside the zone, as the 1-1 is on the outside edge, now 1-2. Right, was trying to get the 0-1 pitch for Schaefer to chase after it, did not, but he's still up and ahead in the count 1-2. From the stretch, 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2.
Again, you don't big pitch right here at 2-2. You don't want to go to 3-2 with 2 outs and allow the runners to get a head start.
Here's now the 2-2 pitch. That's upstairs, and it's now 3-2, and it will be a head start here for both Osborne and Graber. 2 down here in the top of the second. From the stretch, here comes the payoff pitch. And that's just a bit upstairs, and now the bases are loaded for the second time in as many innings. And that'll bring up Garen Heinert, who drew a walk in his first trip to the plate. There's a big at-bat here for Post State. You can end this inning down just 1-0, or things can start. You get down by a crooked number. Here's the first pitch to Heinert. This is for ball 1.
And again, every time that you add a walk onto your line score, just drives up that pitch count.
The 1-0 pitch is fouled back, and it goes off of the home plate umpire again. And Alan Goodman, he might be starting to rethink about being an umpire because that one caught him flush again. I had to hear an audible groan out of that after he got hit with it, as it counts now 1-1.
Does what every good umpire does to buy a little time, goes out and sweeps off home plate, and Cade Hinkle, again, the veteran catcher, realizes that the best thing to do right now is just give your umpire a chance to catch his breath. So makes a slow walk out, has a couple of words with Bennett Dean, and then a slow walk back, and we're back playing baseball.
1-1 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 2-1 here to Garen Heinert. Bases are loaded here in the top of the second. 1-0 is their score. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Line shot, that's over the head of the second baseman Hansen into right center field. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Berquan cuts it off. They are going to let that ball go all the way through. Missed by the second baseman Hansen, so all 3 runs will come in to score. And it's now a 4-0 lead with now a runner on second. And all 3 of those walks come back to haunt Post State. They all come around to score, and it's a 4-0 lead here for Sioux Falls East.
Yeah, and again, the walks continue to be the bugaboo for Post State so far early in this 2021 Legion season.
It'll be an RBI, a 3 RBI double for Garrett Heinert. First pitch to Nate Sprinkle is taken for strike 1. So 2 away here in the top of the second inning. 4-0 lead for Sioux Falls East. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one will hit Sprinkle. And the inning continues. The 9th man will come to the plate in Jackson Bowe.
Yeah, Dean actually started out, had a nice run through the first part of this inning, even though he gave up the leadoff triple, came back with a ground out, then the walk, then the strikeout, and then since then it's been 2 walks, a double, and a hit batter, and the Sioux Falls East now up 4-0, and the dangerous Jackson Bowe 5 RBIs in game number 1 comes to the plate with runners on first and second.
Here's the first pitch to Bowe. He'll foul that one back, and it's 0-1. Bowe grounded into that ending double play back in the top of the first inning to end the top of the first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. As Greg said, it was 5 runs driven in game 1 from Jackson Bowe. Hit that home run. Going the opposite field into left. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Bowe will foul it away. And we'll stay live here at 0-2. That one went right off of a chair and bounced right to the 4 people that are out in the sun on the third base side. 0-2 pitch. That one will get to the backstop. And it's now second and third here with 2 away, and it's first and 1 and 2. Now here for Jackson Bowe. Basic could drive in another 2 runs for Sioux Falls East.
And the way Bo has been hitting in this first game today, I mean, he's not exactly the guy that you want at the plate, already down 4-0 and runners on second and third here in the top of the second.
He fouls the 1-2 pitch back again, so we'll do it again here at 1-2. From the stretch, 1-2 pitch, and Bo will line it to right field. Pollock going over, dives, but he can't make the catch. 2 roller runs are going to come in to score on the RBI, 2 RBI single for Bo, and it's now a 6-0 lead for Sioux Falls East. And all 6 runs have come in to score here in the ball game. They're in the top of the second.
And again, Sioux Falls East puts a big inning together, and like they did in the first game, 6 runs in the top of the first inning in game number 1. Now 6 runs on the board, and still batting here in the top of the second for Sioux Falls East.
Here's Miles Reese. The first pitch is popped foul out of play. 10th man to come to the plate. He opened up the top of the second with a triple. Was sent home on an RBI ground out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball. That'll be fielded by Keenels at short. He'll underhand flip to second. And that will end things here in the top of the second inning. So it was 6 runs on 3 hits in the inning. No errors and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Post State trailing Sioux Falls East 6-0. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Pierre Sports Center is your local Ranger Boat and Mercury Outboard dealer. They're a must-see for your Ranger boat needs. See their selection of Mercury outboard motors for more power. Pierre Sports Center can help you with financing and other boating needs. Need service for your boat or trailer to keep you going? Pierre Sports Center is your one-stop shop. Pierre Sports Center, Ranger Boats, and Mercury Outboard, a combination that can't be beat. Pierre Sports Center, 1440 North Garfield Avenue in Pierre, or give them a call, 224-5546. When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium as we head to the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to be, again, another chance for Pierre. They've got to chip away at this lead, down 6-0. Jack Merquan, Matt Hansen, and Gary Nedved, 5, 6, and 7 to lead things off in this bottom of the second. 6-run top of the second. 10 guys came to the plate for Sioux Falls East. Scored those 6 runs on the 3 hits in that inning. And for Post State, they've put themselves in a bad spot again. Here's Jack Merquan. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1.
And again, you can't get 6 runs with 1 swing of the bat. Just need to chip away and like Nathan Nass says, just need to start putting together some good at bats.
And there's a good at bat for Jack Merquan, who grounds it back up the middle for a leadoff single. That's the second inning row with a leadoff single for Post State. And that'll bring up Matt Hansen, the second baseman, who grounded out to the second baseman is only at bat. That ended the ball game back in that game 1. It was a 14-2 win for Sioux Falls East in just 5 innings. As Merquan back in safely on the pickoff attempt. Here's the first pitch now from Sharping to Hansen. Here's a ground ball up the middle. It'll be fielded by the shortstop. Heiner did not step on the bag at second, and safe at first base also is going to be Hansen. So it's going to be first and second here with nobody out. And that one might go down just as a fielder's choice because it wasn't really an error by the shortstop. And if he just throws it to first, I think we're having maybe a discussion on it with the second base umpire or the field umpire. But yeah, it would just go down, and it should go down just as a fielder's choice because there's can't really give Hansen a base hit, but not an error by the shortstop.
Yeah, I think Heinert's trying to plead his case that in fact he's trying to show the umpire the spike mark about where he said that he stepped, and second base umpire saying from what I could see he never touched the bag, and so now the Sioux Falls East head coach is out trying to get some clarification, and not sure that they're going to see exactly eye to eye, but not animated discussion at all. I mean, just trying to get some clarification. Now, Alan Goodman is out. I don't know that he would have much perspective from trying to see the play at home plate, and so right now it looks like Post 8 is going to end up with runners on first and second after the kind of unique fielder's choice scoring play, and so the Eights, like we said, got a little bit of something going here in the bottom of the second. We'll see if they can take advantage of that with runners on first and second, nobody out.
As Gary Nedved will come to the plate. This is a big spot here for Post 8, trying to overcome a 6-run deficit. Nedved will foul the first pitch back. And it's 0-1. A big opportunity here for Post 8. First and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. 0-1 pitch to Nedved. On the outside edge, and it's quickly 0-2. Nedved so far batting .250, 1 for 4. Has scored a run. Also reach on error. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one just missing, a little low, maybe a little outside. The count's now 1-2. Catcher and Beck trying to frame that one up again for him.
Yep, really tried to sell that as strike number 3, but just a little bit low and a little bit outside.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Sharping to Nedved. He did offer at it and ends up swinging and missing, and he'll go down on strikes. So that's the first out. Didn't think that he went all the way through, but home plate umpire says he swung and missed. And so there's now one down, and that'll bring up Isaac Pollock.
Nedved not sure that his bat went through the zone, but Alan Goodman very quick with the call from behind home plate from his perspective, and now there's one out.
First pitch goes off the glove of the catcher Beck. It was taken for a strike, but both runners will move up 90 feet on the pass ball, and it's second and third. And Pollock can get a base hit and drive in two. Post State scored one run in the first and third inning, and that was all they had. No crooked numbers in that first game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Pollock, and it's 0-2. Brecken Kruger is on deck. The first two guys reaching base. Yeah, find a way to bring both those guys home. Here comes now the 0-2 pitch from Sharping to Pollock. Infield is in all the way around. That one's outside, and it's now 1-2. I kind of surprised to see the infield drawn in. You're up 6-0. You can get a ground. You go 6-1. It's no big deal as long as you get two outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Pollock will chop it foul. Because now a ground ball through the hole on the left side scores two instead of just scoring one with an RBI ground out.
Yeah, there's a big hole on the left side. Schaefer about 4 steps off the line. Heinert kind of in the normal shortstop position, but that's a big hole over there. If Pollock can pull one through that left side.
1-2 pitch, and Pollock will pop it foul. And it remains at 1-2. And a little interesting to see the infield drawn in. If you're down 6-0, maybe you do that because it's starting to get out of hand away from you. But here's the 1-2 pitch. Pollock will take strike 3, and there's now 2 down, and it's not going to matter with the infield going back with 2 away. And it's up to Brecken Kruger now to try and at least pass this along to Lincoln Keenels, if not drive both these runs in. Kruger in game number 1, he flew out to the left fielder for a drive out to left field, but it was caught. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
Big spot here for the Junior Legion call-up on the day. Base hit here would give the Eights just a little bit of momentum and get them back within one swing of the bat if they can plate both of these runs.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Kruger. He'll ground it foul over towards Coach White, and he'll make the play. And it's now 1-1. Gave a little bit more effort than what Coach Nas did over at first base.
We never got a chance to rib Coach Nas about his lackadaisical effort over at first base in that first game.
1-1 pitch is upstairs and is now 2-1. I think we'll have plenty of time this summer to bring that up a couple times. Count is 2-1 to Breckin Kruger. Yeah, like you said, he's a call-up. He's not part of the taxi squad. He's part of the call-up from the Junior Legion team. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Upstairs and it's now 3-1.
Part of the 40-man roster?
40-man roster, not part of the taxi club, taxi squad, an undisclosed location. We've seen since sports has returned from COVID. 3-1 pitch, that's in the dirt, and the bases are now loaded to bring up the top of the order in Lincoln Keenels, who singled in his first trip to the plate. And this becomes a huge at-bat now, because one way or the other, runs will score, this inning will be over. And Post State down 6-0. A base hit is the step in the right direction to make a comeback. Sharping will go from the windup, and here's the first pitch to Keenels. Swings and misses at the fastball, and he's 0-1.
With an inside-out swing that Keenholz has, the right fielder Osborne only playing, actually kind of inside a medium deep. And so if Keenholz can go the other way, especially with Sharping with his velocity, if Keenholz can barrel one up, put one to the fence, you would likely see all 3 runs score.
Counts 0-2. Fouled back on the 0-1 pitch. The 0-2 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 1-2. Not a bad thought there from Sharping. That good fastball. Trying to see if Keenholz is thinking something other than fastball, and he threw it above the letters, trying to give him a chase. Threw it just a little bit too high. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Keenholz will get it, a fly ball to right field. 1 run will come in to score as it drops. The second run going to try and come in to score. The throw's offline. It's going to get to the backstop and go into third base. It's going to be Kruger. The throw is going to be coming in. That's going to get in his left field. And now Kruger will come in to score on the throw. Kruger, I don't think, saw the ball got to the backstop. And because of that, the throw came to third base, and he ends up getting away with it, too, because the throw got to left field for all 3 runs to come in to score. Great, the ball went to right field, and all 3 runs came in to score. I don't think that's how you had it drawn up for that to happen, but Keenel's on at second base. That's a 6-3 ball game, at least cut in half.
Yeah, I hadn't penciled in the 2 errors on the play. The overthrow, and the ball that got passed back to the shortstop behind home plate, and then the bad throw from back past Schaefer that allowed Kruger to come all the way around. He had actually gotten to second base and then actually was kind of caught in no man's land for a fraction of a second. Actually, that's what drew the throw from Beck, but went over the head of Schaefer at third base and allowed Kruger to score. So little bit of prognostication. I mean, it sort of came through. Not exactly like maybe we had drawn it up, but all of a sudden the Eights have cut this lead in half from 6-0 to 6-3, and still have this inning going with Lincoln Keenholz out on second base, and if Kate Hinkle can find a way to put one in the grass, likely close this gap even further.
So if you're keeping score at home, it's a 2 RBI single for Lincoln Keenholz. He gets the second on the throw, which there's an air charge to the right fielder on the throw in, and then another air charge to this catcher. So a single and 2 errors as Hinkle flies out to center field. That one's over the head of the center fielder. That's going to get down for extra bases. Hinkle rounds first. He's on at second. He's got himself an RBI double. And Post State, that once trailed 6-0, it's now a 6-4 ball game here with 2 away in the bottom of the second.
A ball that Hinkle just sat on first pitch fastball, and I think that's kind of the secret against Gage Sharping, is just try to sit on some kind of fastball early in the count, and that's what Hinkle did. And with this wind, Hinkle didn't get the ball up. It was more of a line drive, but just the wind aided it just enough to get over the head of Nate Sprinkle out in center field, and with that, Post State's right back in this ball game now, down just 6-4.
First pitch swing and a miss by Andy Gordon. Gordon reaching a fielder's choice in that first inning. A base hit could pull him within 1. 0-1 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 1-1. This is a good second inning here for Post State. 4 runs have scored. They've already outmatched their total in game one, the output that they had with just 2 runs scoring. Trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the second. Here's a 1-1 pitch upstairs, and it's now 2-1 to Gordon.
Sharping has a hard time keeping his hat on the mound every time not every time, but a majority of the time when he releases the ball, that cap falls off and he has to pick it up off the ground and replace it on his head.
2-1 pitch, and Gordon will fight that one off. It's going to be caught by the third baseman and Schaefer in front of the shortstop Heinert, and that will end the inning. 8 men come to the plate, though, in the bottom of the second inning. 4 runs score on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the third. A new ball game here. Post State trails Sioux Falls East 6-4 after 2 innings. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Evermore Boutique, where fashion doesn't have to break the bank. See them for men's, women's, and children's clothing, shoes, accessories, and so much more. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from noon to 7, Saturdays from 11 to 6, and Sundays from noon to 5. Visit Evermore Boutique, located at 104 South Pierre Street in Pierre, or give them a call today, 605-494-0194. That's Evermore Boutique in Pierre.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
As we get to the top of the third inning, it is a 6-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. John Wickler alongside of Greg Dean as Aiden Beck will lead things off to open up the top of the third. 7, 8, 9. Aiden Beck, Pat Osborne, and Nick Lounsbury. Anybody reaches base, it'll go back to the top of the order for Grant Graber as Bennett Dean is back out on the mound and looking to take advantage of the 4 runs that were given to him in the bottom of the second to keep this just a 2-run deficit. Post State sent 8 guys to the plate in that bottom of the second inning. Beck is 0 for 1 with the RBI ground out. He opened up the scoring in game 2 here with a RBI ground out that scored Miles Reese back at the top of the second. First pitch is missed for ball 1.
This is a big inning for the Eights. Bennett Dean really needs to have a quick inning. I mean, not only from a pitch count perspective, but also to get the defense off the field and the bats back at their hand while they've got a little momentum generated with that 4 spot in the bottom of the second.
Here's a 2-0 pitch, and I don't think time was actually granted. Beck had his hand up saying he wanted time, but did not have time. But Bennett Dean stopped his motion. Here's now the 2-0 pitch. That one will miss, and it's now 3-0. So Dean could have thrown that right down the middle, and it would have been taken for a strike because Alan Goodman, the home plate umpire, wasn't granting Beck that extra time. Here's the now 3-0 pitch, and it's going to be a 4-pitch walk. And that will be the first man to reach base here in the top of the third inning. Leadoff man's been on base all 3 times so far for Sioux Falls East in game 2. And here's now Pat Osborne, the right fielder. We'll see if they would have dropped down a bunt. Here with nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Well, that third base coach went through those signs pretty quickly. First pitch, no running, no dropping down a bunt, swing and a miss by Osborne. I think I've seen signs given that quickly.
Yeah, there was not much chance to try to steal anything because you wouldn't have been able to digest that flurry that was going on over there.
It counts now 0-2 on 2 swings and misses. And really, you haven't seen a whole lot of signs given from the third base coach. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one will come in and hits Osborne. And so the first 2 men have reached base here to open up the top of the third. That'll bring up Nick Lounsbury, number 9 hitter.
And this is a distinct possibility for a bunt situation here. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Number 9 hitter at the plate, leadoff hitter on deck, and so you got to think that this is a prime spot for a bunt.
Showing bunt, pulling it back was Lounsbury. He took strike 1. Lounsbury struck out swinging his first at bat. This is now all of a sudden turns into a dangerous inning here for Post State. First 2 men have reached base. 0-1 pitch. Lounsbury will pull back the bunt, take it high for ball 1. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Runner or the defense in at the corners. Weeby 1 step on the grass. Andy Gordon at first is about 4 steps in on the grass.
1-1 pitch will miss low for ball 2. We'll see if the bunt continues to stay on here for Sioux Falls East. Beck is on at second, Osborne at first. Showing bunt is Lounsbury. He'll bunt it foul. Back to the netting, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, nobody out. 6-4 is their score. All those 10 runs as Sioux Falls East leads it. All those scored in the 2nd inning. And Lounsbury will most likely be swinging away here. 2-2 pitch. They'll foul that one off. And it will stay alive at 2-2.
70 pitch of the day just thrown by Dean. Again, at this pace with nobody out in the 3rd, you're just kind of hoping you can get him through 4 innings right now.
And showing bunt again, pulls it back and takes strike 3, does Lounsbury. Interesting call to have him show bunt or try and bunt, and he pulled it back and takes it for strike 3, and there's a big first out for Post State. Now they're a ground ball away from getting out of this inning. That'll bring up Grant Graber. Graber singled and also walked so far. That pitch gets in the dirt, gets away from Hinkle. Both runners will move up 90 feet, and there goes the chance of the ground ball double play. And a basic double the lead for Sioux Falls East.
Yeah, just unfortunate situation there. I mean, just trying to keep that ground ball double play in place, and an off-speed pitch that just didn't quite get all the way to Hinkle's glove and bounded off early. And Hinkle, as good as he is at blocking pitches, just wasn't able to get that one gloved in time.
2-0 pitch is missed, and it's now 3-0. On deck is Ty Schaefer. You look at some of the pitchers that Post State has thrown. Lincoln Keenels would be one that could come in and throw, as the 3-0 is over for a strike, and it's now 3-1. Hanson started game 1. Gordon threw as well in game 1. Bennett Dean's the starter here in game 2. 3-1 pitch is popped up on the right side. Gordon giving a long chase for it, and he will make the catch over the shoulder. Run's going to try and tag and score. The throw is going to be wide and back to the backstop, so a run's going to come in to score. And over to third base will be Osborne, and it's now a 9-6 lead, but a tremendous over-the-shoulder grab by Gordon. And it's going to end up being an air charge to Gordon, and as run comes in to score, there's still a runner on third base.
Yeah, a ball that very athletic play from Andy Gordon just to record the out, but his momentum carried him away from home plate, so he had to pivot and spin a full 180 and try to make a throw, and when he did, he was just a little bit off balance, and throw goes past Hinkle all the way, and I don't know that they would have had a chance to get the runner at home, even if Gordon had made a good throw.
That runner did take third base on the wild throw, as the 1-0 pitch to Schaefer is missed low, and it's now 2-0. So that's one of your rare sac fly, scoring a sac fly RBI to the first baseman. You don't see too many sac flies by an infield to an infielder. As that one's flown out to right field, Isaac Pollock waiting underneath it. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the top of the third inning. Another run does score. Without a hit in the inning, 1 error and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. A 7-4 lead now for Sioux Falls East over Pierre Post State. Back in a minute, you listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Bank West Insurance has the expertise and resources to deliver personalized service and customized solutions. As an independent agency, we shop dozens of companies to get you the best coverage at the best price. As your trusted choice for insurance coverage, we promise to go the extra mile so you can rest assured your loved ones and your assets are protected. Contact your local agent to put Bank West Insurance to work for you.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, may go down in value, equal opportunity provider.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our top priority is providing value to our members. Since 1941, we have helped our neighbors buy homes and vehicles, finance their farms and ranches, insure their assets, and retire comfortably. From Custer to Sioux Falls, we live and work in our communities, and we treat our members like family. Visit bhfcu.com to learn more about how you can join. BHFCU is member-owned, not-for-profit, and federally insured by NCUA.
Bottom of the third inning, it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Jaden Wiebe, Jack Merkwan, and Matthew Hansen might reach his base. It'll be then to Gary Nedved. Wiebe was the only man that didn't come to the plate in the bottom of the second. Both State trailing 7-4 now here in the second inning. As Wiebe was a ground-out victim in the first inning. Here's the first pitch from Sharping to Wiebe. And Wiebe will sky it out to left field, going back on his Lounsbury. He'll settle underneath it. And one pitch and one out here for Gage Sharping in the bottom of the third.
Nice, a well-hit ball by Wiebe, but and up in the air enough that I thought maybe it was going to carry a little farther than it did, but just not enough out there to really carry it far enough to the warning track, and Lounsbury settles underneath it for out number one.
First pitch is missed low and outside to Merkwan. Ball one. Alan Goodman had the ball out and acted like he was going to throw it back to the pitcher. Did not end up giving the ball to the catcher. 1-0 pitch. That one's grounded up the middle. It'll be fielded by the shortstop on the run. A throw was just in time to get Merkwan out at first by Heinert. And there's two quickly down here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, ball hit again, just much like the last one that Merkwan hit, just right back up the middle. This time, Heinert able to make a play, and actually by the time that he came from his shortstop position to his left, he was actually on the first base side of second base when he made that throw and was able to just get Merkwan by half a step.
Here's the first pitch to Matt Hansen upstairs for ball one. Just the fourth pitch of the inning so far for Sharping. With two down here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 pitch. Hansen will pop it up into shallow right field. That one's going to drop in for a base hit. And the inning will continue with the single from Hansen. He's now 1 for 2. And he'll bring up Gary Nedved. Strikeout swinging in his first at-bat. Two down here in the bottom of the third. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station, just past 4 o'clock here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. A 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. 7 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error so far for Post 8. Ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman. Reese, the throw to first is in time. A 6-pitch inning for Gage Sharping as he retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the fourth. 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. You listen to Post 8 Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com.
Home Care Services is a private agency committed to providing expert advice and specialized care to those who want to remain living independently at home. Home Care Service has a team of nurses, caregivers, and administrative staff that offers a full range of in-home support services to our area. For more information about Home Care Services, call 224-2273. Expert advice, professional care. Home Care Services, 224-2273.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Top of the fourth, a 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. as they will have a 3, 4, and 5. Heinert, Sprinkle, and a Bow. Anybody reaches base, it'll be back to Miles Reese. As we play here today, we'll be back on the air on Wednesday for a doubleheader, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday this week, all here at Hyatt Stadium. Don't travel until next week, Wednesday. June 16th is our first road game of this season, and it's going to be a good road game because we're going to go to the new renovated Fitz out in Rapid City. We had a chance to play on that turf field out in Rapid, and then we head to the Dakota Classic, so we go Wednesday to Rapid City, one day back here in Pierre, and then go to the other side of the state to Sioux Falls for the Dakota Classic, which will be played the Sioux Falls West Pool, and it'll be at Harmon Park. First pitch is upstairs for ball one.
Starting to see a little activity down in the Sioux Falls East bullpen. I think that's Andrew Evenson. That would be his second appearance of the day if he comes in to relieve Sharping at some point. Sharping 49 pitches so far on the day through 3 innings, under that 60-pitch limit, which would, if he stays under that 60-pitch limit, he would be able to come back and pitch on Wednesday for Sioux Falls East. So we'll see how the East coaching staff wants to play this pitching matchup going forward in game number 2.
Count is 1-2 here to Garen Heinert. 1-2 pitch misses low and is now 2-2. They did throw two guys through Pat Osborne in 2 different games against Watertown. He threw in the first game, went 1 inning through just 14 pitches and allowed 1 run. As a 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Heinert. He goes down on strikes, and there's the first out here in the top of the 4th. As it'll bring up Nate Sprinkle. That's just the third strikeout so far the afternoon for Bennett Dean. Osborne threw in game 1, and then he came back and threw in game 2, and he was not as effective in game number 2. He only threw 18 pitches, but he didn't record an out. Ended up giving 5 runs and 3 hits, did Osborne. So was not the outing the second time around, as the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Sprinkle. And you would think, for post-8, you're hoping that's going to be the same case if Evenson does come in this game for a second time in the doubleheader, that he'd be as effective as what Osborne was. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball, right side pass to diving first baseman Gordon into right field for a 1-out single. For Sprinkle, who's now 1 for 1. That was his first official at-bat. He's been on base with a walk and hit by pitch the other 2 times. And then I'll bring up Jackson Bowe, who's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. 7 runs driven in so far in the 2 games for Jackson Bowe. Had himself a pretty good afternoon here at Hyatt Stadium.
Yeah, I think it was Brookings we'd seen earlier in the spring season.
As that one's popped up into center field, Merkwan will glide to his right. He'll make the catch, and there's now 2 down as Sprinkle will retreat back to first.
I'd seen Brookings use a different strategy I'd not seen used before, where they actually would start and go deep with one of their starters in game number 1, and then they would finish the game with a pitcher, and then use that reliever to start game number 2. And in some ways, kind of a unique situation. If you can keep that reliever warm, he's already warmed up and in the pen, and if you can keep him warm in that break, that half-hour break between games, and then come back and use him again, certainly gives you an opportunity to potentially limit the number of pitchers if you can then use just a third pitcher to finish that second game.
Counts 2-0 here to Miles Reese. He's 1 for 2 with a triple. 2-0 pitch. That one's at the knees, and it's now 2-1. He tripled to open up the top of the second, ended up ground out to end the second inning. Bats here with 2 away and a runner on first here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's upstairs, and it's now 3-1. On deck is Aiden Beck. Sprinkle leads away from first. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's cued off the end of the bat. So the count's now 3-2, and the runner will get a head start and Sprinkle over at first base with a full count and 2 away. Dean will step off. Gordon is not holding on Sprinkle anymore over first base. Here comes now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Dean will get a strikeout and a big 0 on the scoreboard at the top of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Pierre still trails by 3, 7-4 of Sioux Falls East. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre knows what that sound is. It's baseball season. They also know that means it's grilling season. Sioux Nation has the Green Mountain Grill choices that you need for those hot dogs and burgers for tailgating. And let's be honest, you know there will be a steak in there too. Visit Sioux Nation of Fort Pierre and see their selection of grills. While you're there, also pick up some seasonings for your grilling needs. Visit Sioux Nation at 504 Deadwood Street, Fort Pierre. Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As we enter the bottom of the 4th inning, it is a 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. As we, for Post State, we'll have 8-9-1. Isaac Pollock, Brecken Kruger, and Lincoln Keenholz. Big 0 up there on the scoreboard in the top of the 4th inning. To keep this a 7-4 deficit for Post State. Pollock struck out looking in his first at bat. Brecken Kruger walked and came around to score. Lincoln Keenholz drove in 2 of those 3 runs that came around with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 2nd with that single. Gage Sharping still out on the mound for Sioux Falls East, who's looking to win another doubleheader. They're 4-1 right now on the season. Post State trying to keep themselves at 500 at the end of each day.
Right fielder, number 22, Isaac.
You know, it's we've talked about before, there's really no easy games in Legion baseball. As Isaac Pollock will wait on the first pitch and line it right back to Sharping. He makes the catch. And the leadoff man's retired. Pollock right on that pitch, but Sharping backhand stabbed that out of the air. And there's one down here to open up the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, and that's a really nice play by Sharping. He actually, the right-hander actually in his delivery falls off towards first base, and Pollock just tattooed that ball right back up the middle, and Sharping had to reach back across his body, even though he was falling away from where the ball was hit, and reached back across his body, and like you said, backhanded the ball and recorded the out.
Brecken Kruger will swing and foul the first pitch back, 0-1. Second pitch will pop up on the right side. It'll be Bo in foul territory to make the catch. And in 3 pitches, we have 2 away again here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As that'll bring up the top of the order in Lincoln Keenholz.
And so far, the Eights have not made Gage Sharping work very hard in the last inning and 2/3. Six pitch inning in the 3rd, and now just 3 pitches to record the first 2 outs here in the 4th.
So now here is Lincoln Keenholz. First pitch to him will miss low for ball 1. 1 for 2 so far 2 for 2 so far with the 2 RBI single. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled back, and it's now 1-1. I was saying there's no easy games in Legion baseball, but some of these teams are that Post State has played are going to be pretty good teams down the stretch of this season. One is just outside, and is now 2-1. You know, you don't really catch a break with Watertown, who I believe was the 3 seed at the end of the year of 2020. That one's fouled back and is now 2-2. And then you get Mitchell, who is going to be looking to kind of turn things around after struggling towards the end of the year last year, and he's struggling at the beginning of this season. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Sharping to Keenholz. Swinging a foul back off the catcher, and we'll do it again here at 2-2. I might have went off the glove and maybe pushed back a finger on the glove hand of Aiden Beck. And Renner, the second Renner team, that's an unknown right now of how good they're going to be and who's on that team really that will still be pretty good. But you just don't catch many breaks in South Dakota Class A Legion baseball. 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, and Sharping will get a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the fourth. We head to the fifth. It's still a 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
This is the life. Sitting here, sipping lemonade, basking in the warm sun, and admiring the beauty and the solitude of my very own landscaped backyard. You know, I wasn't sure, but I was so glad when I made the call to Andy at Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping to finally have the work done. Calling Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping was probably one of the best and the easiest decisions I've ever made.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, 280-4440. That's 280-4440.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com. As we welcome you back, it is the top of the fifth inning as Brecken Kruger now on the mound for Post-8. As Bennett Dean will be over at first and Andy Gordon is at third base now. I believe Jaden Wiebe moves to second. And
Matt Hansen's out and left.
And so we have quite a few changes to go through and defensive changes, but nothing changed. Well, I guess it does change the batting order as well because now Bennett Dean is in the spot for Gary Nedved which was the DH spot, but Bennett Dean will now move into the batting order as he was being hit for, but entering the game defensively, which means now he is going to be in the lineup. So here is Brecken Kruger be on the mound. As Kruger will throw the first pitch to Aiden Beck. First pitch, ground ball, left side. Andy Gordon now will field, throw to first. One pitch, one out. Good start for Kruger on the mound. Here to open up the top of the fifth inning.
Quick score update. The Pierre Post-8 U16 team gets a walk-off win thanks to the bat of Lucas Miller and beats Mitchell 11-10 this afternoon.
A good win for that Pierre team. As now stepping to the plate is Pat Osborne. First pitch is upstairs for ball one.
Brecken Kruger had a couple of appearances in the spring for the Pierre Governor baseball team.
That one's popped up on the right side. Dean is over in foul territory. He's got some room. He'll make the catch. And there's now two down here in the top of the fifth inning. As that will bring up Nick Lounsbury, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts so far.
Pierre faithful starting to get engaged a little bit, seeing a couple of nice plays by the defense, and sometimes your defense picks up your offense. We'll see if that comes into play here in the latter stages of game number 2.
First pitch misses for ball one. Saw Kruger throw a couple of innings in the high school season, but primarily was in the outfield for the Governors. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's popped foul. Will it stay in play? It does, but it hits the very bottom of those bricks, and Cade Hinkle couldn't get over there quick enough, and counts now at 1-1.
Give you the final line for Bennett Dean on the day. He goes 4 innings, gives up 5 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts. He hit a couple batters, threw 3 wild pitches, 93 pitches on the day, 46 of them for strikes to the 24 batters that Dean faced on the day.
Lounsbury out towards left field. Matt Hansen is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Kruger in that top of the fifth. We have the bottom of the fifth inning. Still 7-4 here for Sioux Falls East as Post-8 coming back to the plate. Listen to Post-8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
ATVs provide wonderful outdoor recreation, but they can also rapidly spread noxious weeds. An ATV can pick up noxious weeds in one area and spread them to the next area in which it is used. When you finish your ride, make sure your ATV is free of weeds and weed seeds. Cleaning your machine is important in stopping the spread of noxious weeds like leafy spurge. To find out how you can help prevent the spread of noxious weeds, call the South Dakota Department of Agriculture or your local county weed and pest supervisor.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
2, 3, and 4 here for Post State as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still trailing 7-4 as Hinkle, Gordon, and Wiebe be the first three men to face the new pitcher on the mound for Sioux Falls East. As I believe that is Evenson that's on the mound again for Sioux Falls East. Yeah, Andrew Evenson, who threw that first game, is back on the mound. And again, for Post State, they're kind of hoping the same situation will follow for Evenson like it did for Pat Osborne when he came back to throw in against Watertown that doubleheader. Didn't record an out, gave up 5 runs. Post State would like to score 5 runs on Evenson here in this 5th inning. Give them their first lead of the afternoon of the doubleheader. Have trailed Sioux Falls East the entire time. First pitch from Evenson coming to Cade Hinkle. The curveball that misses for ball 1. Hinkle is 1 for 1 RBI double back in the 2nd inning. Part of those 4 runs that scored. 1-0 pitch is fouled away and it's now 1-1 to the catcher. Andy Gordon, Jane Wiebe to follow. It'll be Jack Merkwan, the center fielder, and number 5 hitter to come to the plate. He might reach his base. Here's a 1-1 from Evenson to Hinkle. That one's at the knees, and it's now 1-2.
Evenson in game number 1 through 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 13 pitches in that first outing of the day for Evenson.
1-2 pitches outside, and it's now 2-2. Hinkle so far, he is 2 for 4 in this doubleheader. 2-2 pitch outside, and it's now 3-2.
Slow curveball just off the outside corner, and Hinkle just laid off of that. Awful tempting at 2-2 to try to reach out, maybe expand the strike zone a little bit.
3-2 pitch upstairs, and it's going to be a leadoff walk issued to Cade Hinkle, and that'll bring up Andy Gordon with a runner on first and nobody away. Gordon's 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice and also popped up to the third baseman. That was back in the 1st and 2nd inning. Here's the first pitch to Gordon. There's a pop-up on the right side. Long run coming in for the right fielder. He'll make the catch, and Osborne and back to first is Hinkle, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Just sitting first pitch fastball, and Gordon not able to quite square one up. Just floats one out into short right field. Osborne, after a nice run, comes in and gloves the ball for out number 1, and take it on to the bat of Jaden Wiebe. We'll see if he can move Hinkle over and try to get him into scoring position, keep this inning going.
He's 0 for 2 so far as Wiebe. First pitch is taken for strike 1. As Wiebe is looking for his first hit so far this doubleheader. It went 0 for 2 in game 1, 0 for 2 here. Runner on first with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch instead, a check over and back in safely as Hinkle.
Both teams with just 5 hits on the board here in the second game of this doubleheader. The biggest difference is Post State has allowed 6 walks and 2 hit batters and while post 15 has only given up those 3 walks.
0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Wiebe, and it's now 0-2. Jack Merkwan is on deck. Down 7-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Post 15's done a nice job of hitting with 2 outs as well. I mean, I think 5 of those 6 runs scored with 2 outs, if I remember right.
Yeah, I believe so. It might even be all 6 of those runs. Oh, yeah, 5 of the 6. Yep, RBI ground out to be the first out in the 2nd inning. All the other 5 runs came in to score, along with the run that scored in the top of the 3rd. There is a strikeout of Jaden Wiebe. Couldn't pull the trigger. A pitch that was up around the letters, and there's now 2 away. And that'll bring up Jack Merkwan. Merkwan's 1 for 2. Both times he's come to the plate, he's hit it back up the middle. The first one got through, and the second one was nabbed by Heinert. Hinkle's on it first with 2 away. Shoot was somewhere in the gap, and Hinkle might be able to score from first base. Here's the first pitch to Merkwan. Second for strike 1. Merkwan in game number 1 went 0 for 2. 1 for 2 here in game number 2. 0-1 pitch. Slow curveball that cuts the zone and is now 0-2.
Yeah, that's an almost unhittable pitch after seeing that fastball up in the zone, and then Evenson with a big change of speeds on that 0-1 pitch, that just really big slow curveball in the outside corner.
As coming set as Evenson, here's the 0-2 pitch. Merkwan will foul it back to the netting. He'll do it again at 0-2. That's the.
I was going to say that sounded like catcher's interference. I thought it sounded kind of odd, and that ended up being the call from home plate umpire Alan Goodman.
So it'll be Merkwan over at first base. I believe that's an error on the catcher. It goes down as an error on the catcher because it's not a base hit, and we had the 3rd error of the ball game from Sioux Falls East. So first and second, Hansen swings and misses at the first pitch. And it's 0-1. Hansen is 1 for 2. The fielder's choice, and also had a base hit. I was about ready to say, too, also with that curveball on 0-1, and then you try to throw a fastball. It's hard to, when he mixes speeds like that, that's a huge difference in speed that's hard to adjust to as the 0-1 pitch bounces in. The count's now at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, if you see on a TV broadcast, they will show you the speed of virtually every pitch, and if most of those pitchers, especially at the major league level, can usually get somewhere between 15 to 20 mile an hour difference between their best fastball and their off speed stuff, and that's a big adjustment you have to make as a hitter, is trying to time that off speed stuff and then try to catch up with the fastball.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Hansen. He'll foul that one back, and we'll do it again at 2-2.
And I think what happened on that catcher's interference for Merkwan is after the slow curveball at 0-1, that was a called strike. I mean, Evenson reared back through a fastball, and Merkwan just a little bit late, and Beck tried to.
As that one did not get away from the catcher, and Hinkle took off for third, and is thrown out at third base to end the inning. I think he thought that was going to get away from the catcher and Beck. So Hinkle's thrown out, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs scored, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 6th inning, a 7-4 lead here for for Sioux Falls East over Post State. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Service Master of Pierre. It's no secret we clean carpets professionally, but not many people know we clean furniture, kitchens, bathrooms, walls, floors, and windows. We also do fire and water restoration, plus construction cleanups. There's nothing we can't clean. Give Service Master a call at 224-9919 Service Master, the clean you expect, the service you deserve. Service Master, 224-9919.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your healthcare is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner. They'll answer your questions, and they'll even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy is the pharmacy you know and trust. That number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
As we welcome you back here to Heights Stadium, Sioux Falls East leading 7-4 over Post State as we have the top of the order coming up for the Sioux Falls East. As Grant Graber will lead things off, followed by Ty Schaefer and Garen Heiner. Reckon Kruger got a 1-2-3 inning back in the top of the fifth. Looking to do the same here in the top of the sixth inning. As Post State getting through these to the final outs here of this game number 2, still trailing by 3, 7-4. Grant Graber comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 so far. He singled. He walked to the second and had a sac fly RBI to the first baseman. At that point was Andy Gordon. As the first pitch to Graber is missed for ball 1. You don't see that very often, but because Gordon had to go into foul territory over the shoulder catch and towards right field, so he turned back around, had to quickly throw it home because the runner scored or was tagging up from third base as Graber swings and misses, and the count's now 1-1. The 1-0 pitch is a swing and miss, now 1-2. And because of that, he gets a sac fly RBI that's scored as a fly out to the first baseman. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one will bounce in, and it's now 2-2. There's some activity in the left field bullpen for Sioux Falls East, but unable to see what that number is. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Popped foul out of play. Climbed the ladder, did Graber. Swung at ball 3, but it remains at 2-2.
Got the head of the KCCR research department, Rick Gordon, on the binoculars down the way, trying to see if he can catch that number in the bullpen.
There's a fly ball to left field that Hansen will track down as the leadoff man is retired here in the top of the sixth inning. As that'll bring up Ty Schaefer. Schaefer is 0 for 1, had a sac bunt, walked and came around to score, and then flew out to the right fielder. That was all in the first 3 innings. Here's the first pitch to Schaefer. Over for strike 1.
Number 1 is the...
As the 0-1 pitch will miss low for ball 1.
Oh, is that Lounsbury? But Lounsbury can't pitch today, can he?
Yeah, he threw 96 pitches. This was back on June 2nd. So be as that one's popped out. Nope, I'm going to get the left of me. Thought maybe he was going to have a chance, but it stayed too far to my left, and the count's now 1-2. Yeah, Lounsbury threw on Wednesday with those 96 pitches, so having Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this would be the 4th day that he'd still have to have off. 1-2 pitch, low curveball that's ripped into right center field. Is going to get all the way towards the wall, and rounding second will be Schaefer, and Urquan picking it up. Schaefer's got himself a one-out triple. Stand-up triple for Ty Schaefer. And he is in scoring position and out to work with to try and drive Schaefer in.
Correction, that's Miles Reese out in the left field bullpen getting warm for the 15s.
Here's Garen Heiner. A 3 RBI double back in the top of the second. Infield will be in all the way around here for Post State. Try and keep this a 3-run deficit. Here's the first pitch from Kruger. Swing and a miss by Heiner. It's 0-1. The second of 3 games here at Hyde Stadium. Trappers are playing Sioux Falls Sunfish after this at 7 o'clock. 0-1 pitch. Swinging fouled back, and it's 0-2.
infield in for the 8s. This is a big run right here. With one out, you need to somehow retire the batter, keep that runner still at third base, try to keep him from scoring, and keep this a 3-run ball game.
0-2 pitch is a ground ball. Be fielding the back end by Keenels. Will look the runner back to third, and there's now 2 away, and a good job there by Post 8 to get that second out and keep the runner over at third. And that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Nate Sprinkle, who has got a single in his only official at-bat of game number 2.
Yeah, nice play by Keenholz. And again, that's why you bring the infield in. Just kind of a weakly hit ground ball off the fists, and if Keenholz is back at his normal position, Schaefer probably scores on that play, but because the infield's in, Keenholz just had to make one step to his right, took a long look and made sure Schaefer didn't try to break for the plate, and then a strong throw across for the out.
The 0-1 pitch to Sprinkle. That one's fouled back and out of play, and it's now 0-2. Here with 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. 7-4 is our score. Kruger now a strike away from getting another 0 here. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Kruger gets the strikeout, and a big another 0 inning for Brecken Kruger. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Post 8 still trails at 7-4 of Sioux Falls East. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Comtech in Pierre invites you to come out and check out their expansive showroom. It's filled with everything you need to thrive in today's technology-dependent world and a knowledgeable staff to guide you through. Comtech has TVs, computers, personal electronics to commercial electronics, anything to fit your technology needs. The experienced professionals at Comtech can guide you through any questions you may have. Whether you struggle with technology or live for it, Comtech can help you find exactly what you're looking for. Comtech will even install and service what they sell, so you don't have to worry once you get your products home. Comtech, located at 1601 North Lowell Avenue behind Walmart. Check them out online at ComtechPlus.com.
South Dakota didn't always have a capital, or even a permanent settlement for that matter. There wasn't always a river city on the Missouri River. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, there wasn't always a bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
It is a 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East as Hanson, Bennett Dean, and Isaac Pollock will be the first 3 hitters, 6, 7, and 8. Hanson, who was at the plate to end the bottom of the 5th inning, will come back to the plate after having Cade Hinkle thrown out. Ty Schaefer now is going to be on the mound for post 15. So Schaefer is on the mound trying to get the rest of the. I think Reese went over to third base, which maybe then Sharping moved over to second.
Beck
is at second, and we got a new catcher then.
Boyum.
Yeah, Tyler Boyum, who through game 1 will go behind the plate. I guess it's better to go behind the plate after game 1 than be behind the plate and then go to pitch after that. So here's Matt Hanson to lead things off. Ty Schaefer is on the mound. First pitch swinging by Hanson. He'll foul away on the right side, and it's 0-1. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 7-4 lead for Sioux Falls East. The 0-1 pitch from Schaefer to Hanson. That one's on the outside edge. It's now 0-2.
And again, you just got to put together some good at bats. Got to generate some offense. Try to get base runners. Down 3 here. Just 2 at bats left in the post 8 offense here in game number 2.
0-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it's now 1-2. Good job by Hanson not to chase. He is 1 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and also singled it back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball left side, fielded by Reese over at third base. Quick throw to first, and the leadoff man retired here to open up the bottom of the 6th. As that'll bring up Bennett Dean for his first at-bat of game number 2. Entered in to the batting order when he went from the mound over to first base. So again, now it is just Brady Getz on the bench. Nobody else, Dean is in the game, which would have been the only other possible scenario other than Getz coming in. First pitch misses to Dean for ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Schaefer. And Dean will rip that to center field. Back on it is a center fielder, Sprinkle, to make the catch. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up Isaac Pollock, the number 8 hitter. Pollock's 0 for 2. Struck out looking and also lying back to the pitcher, which was Sharping at that point. He's 1 for 4 the entire day. Here's the first pitch to Pollock. Outside edge for strike 1. Top of the 7th, we'll see Jackson Bowe, Miles Reese, and Aiden Beck 5, 6, and 7. 0-1 pitch. Pollock will float this one to right field. That one will drop in for a base hit. There's a 2-out single to keep things alive here for Poe State in the 6th inning. That'll bring up Brecken Kruger, who is 0 for 1.
Yeah, and 2-out rally. We'll see if they can get something. If the Yates can get something going here.
As Kruger will foul the first pitch away, and it's 0-1.
Really would be nice to try to get at least one right here, and then if you can get a 0 on the board in the top of the 7th, that just kind of lessens the burden and lessens the amount of work that the Yates would have to do in the bottom of the 7th.
0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. That might have gone off the catcher's mask, but maybe bounced up, and that hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what exactly happened. Boyum certainly reacted like he was in some level of distress. Either the ball popped up and got under the mask, maybe hit him in the throat or something. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he was able to collect himself and keep Pollock at just advancing to second, because that ball actually came almost all the way over to the Poe State dugout.
So now here's the 0-2 pitch from Schaefer to Kruger. He'll foul and just barely get a piece of it, and stays alive at 0-2. Could help himself out. King Kruger, a base hit would pull him within 2. It was 6 runs in the top of the 2nd for Sioux Falls East, followed by 4 runs in the bottom of the 2nd for Poe State. Another run scored in the top of the 3rd, and that's where he's sitting here is 7-4. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's going to get all the way to the backstop, though. Kruger's going to get to first base. Pollock's over at 3rd. So best case scenario with a strikeout for Poe State because the inning stays alive. As Kruger swung and missed, but he ends up at first base, and that'll bring up Lincoln Keenels, who all of a sudden tying runs to the plate here in the bottom of the 6th.
It's one of those pitches that the curveball's actually too good. Fooled Kruger and forced him to swing it on the 2-strike count, but Boyum not able to corral that behind the plate because the ball broke so hard and to the outside that he was not able to come up with the ball. And so the Eights now have something going here with 2 out and runners in the corners and the leadoff hitter Keenholz at the plate.
First pitch is over for strike 1. I think home plate umpire said that he swung anyway. Either way, it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Keenholz grounds it through left side for a base hit. That's a 7-5 ball game. The tying run now on base with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's a big RBI single for Keenholz, who's now 3 for 4. And a ball the gap could tie this ball game up with Cade Hinkle here up to the plate with first and second. 7-5 is their score.
Sprinkle playing back fairly deep in center field, but the corners, Lounsbury and left, Osborne and right, not deep at all, especially with the wind blowing out today. So if Hinkle can elevate one and get one up in the air, this game could get real exciting real quick.
First pitch missed upstairs for ball 1. They're shading Hinkle to pull the ball. 1-0 pitch. And Hinkle will sky this out towards center field. Sprinkle is underneath it. He'll make the catch, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So that they do get 1 run, though, does Poe State. 1 run on 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and two men left on base. We head to the bottom of the sixth, top of the seventh. It is a 7-5 lead for Sioux Falls over Post State. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Do you need the Pierre Governor apparel for the big game? Or how about Stanley County apparel or Post State apparel? All Around Graphics and Pierre is your place to go. Not only can you get your apparel, but they also do screen printing, jerseys, awards, and trophies. And did you know they can print and customize your signs? All Around Graphics can do it all. Located at 819 North Euclid Avenue or call 224-4677. All Around Graphics and Pierre, your one-stop shop.
Agtegra in Highmore. We pride ourselves on providing our customers with reliable markets, superior services, and quality products. From corn and soybeans to spring and winter wheat, you can trust Agtegra in Highmore with all your grain handling needs. It's all about helping you achieve the best harvest possible. Call Agtegra of Highmore today at 605-846-1379. That's 605-846-1379.
As we welcome you back here, top of the seventh, it is a 7-5 lead now for Sioux Falls East. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean as we welcome you back to Heinz Stadium. Brecken Kruger still out on the mound. Jackson Bowe, Miles Reese, and Aiden Beck to lead things off. We have 3, 4, and 5 for Post State in the bottom of the seventh inning, and hoping that they're coming to the plate with only needing 2 runs to keep the ball game alive and 3 to win it, as they try to avoid being swept. There wasn't too many times last year that Post State got swept in a doubleheader. They did get swept early on in the year by Post 22. But after that, after them being swept, as the first pitch is grounded to the right side, that's through for a base hit just past Jaden Wiebe as he was going into the hole, and the leadoff man is on base to open up the top of the seventh inning to bring up Miles Reese.
Yeah, just a ball that not hit real hard and just got under Wiebe's glove as it went on into right field, and Sioux Falls East has the leadoff man on in the top of the seventh, trying to protect this 2-run lead. They're trying to add some insurance right now.
See if Reese will try and drop down a bunt. Not bunting. First pitch is missed inside for ball 1. But really, there was not a whole lot of time where Post State was swept in any doubleheader. They end up splitting or end up sweeping their opponent, other than early on in the year getting swept by Post 22. That also then kind of started a lot of wins, as that one's flying out to center field. Merkwan still going back, can't make the catch as it's going to go up against the wall. Rounding second, heading to third will be Bowe, and it's second and third here with nobody out in the top of the seventh inning.
And I think the wind really played a factor in that one as Reese got that ball elevated and it just continued to carry, and Merkwan kind of got turned around out in center field, and I think the wind really played havoc with that ball, and as Merkwan retreated all the way back to the warning track.
As that might be it for Brecken Kruger. Coach Brian White has sunglasses in his hands, which might mean that Kruger's going to go to the outfield. Or maybe it's Coach White's sunglasses. And it's still going to end Kruger's day anyway on the mound. We will step aside for a minute and tell you who's going to be coming up on the mound for Post State, as they have runners at second and third with nobody out. Back in a minute, you're listening to Post State Baseball, today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Are you building a new home or remodeling the old? Adding a fireplace can make a house a home. Olson Plumbing in Pierre carries a full line of Heat-A-Later fireplaces. Whether your taste is traditional or contemporary, Olson Plumbing has a great selection of Heat-A-Later fireplaces that will fit any style. Whether you're building new or updating, call Olson Plumbing. Heat-A-Later Fireplaces, the first name in fireplaces. Olson Plumbing in Pierre is your source for the industry's largest selection of indoor-outdoor fireplaces, either gas or wood, and outdoor fire pits. Stop by their showroom at 2803 East Wells or give them a call, 224-6436.
Ferding Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684.
So Lincoln Keenholz now is on the mound for the Eights as he's trying to keep those runners at second and third. But he has nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning as he'll make his third appearance on the year. But it's a big spot, second and third with nobody away. Down 7-5 in the top of the 7th inning. And he'll deal with Aiden Beck, who is now the second baseman.
Number 7, Lincoln Keenholz.
Yeah, Eights have the infield in here in the top of the 7th, really trying to cut down this run at the plate. Big run right here. You certainly don't want any run to score, but you certainly want to limit any kind of damage right here. But this is a tough spot for Lincoln Keenholz.
So now here is the 1-0 pitch. That one is over for a strike, and the count's now at 1-1.
For Keenholz on the year, comes in. This is his third appearance, 2 1/3 innings so far. He's got 1 save, no wins or losses so far on the year.
Swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2.
2 walks. 7 of the outs that he has recorded. Of those 7, 6 have been strikeouts.
Here's now the 1-2 pitch to Beck. Swing and a miss. Beck couldn't. I don't think he wanted to pull the trigger, but he did, and he strikes out swinging. And there's a big first out with the infield drawn in all the way around, and that'll bring up Pat Osborne. Be Nick Lounsbury, and then should be Tyler Boyum that will come to the plate and hit for Grant Graber. As the first pitch upcoming from Pat Osborne, or from Lincoln Keenholz to Pat Osborne, over for strike 1.
Yeah, big strikeout right there for Keenholz for out number 1. If he can get another one right here, that gets him that much closer to trying to get out of this jam and would allow the Eights to tiptoe around danger one more time today.
0-1 pitch is fouled back, and it's now 0-2 to Pat Osborne, who is 0 for 1 so far. He walked, was hit by a pitch, and also popped out to the first baseman. You really like that phrase, don't you?
I like that phrase.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Keenholz. Swing and a miss. Another big strikeout. There's now 2 down here in the top of the 7th.
Kind of phrase I would expect out of an award-winning broadcaster.
Oh, well. What was that? This is Sports Center commercials where they're trying to come up with catchphrases and they can't figure it out, and that's kind of me. And I got actually one that works. Here's a ground ball. The second baseman, Wiebe. He'll underhand flip it to first. To retire Dean over at first, or to retire Lounsbury over at first, and that retires his side. So Keenholz comes in, 2 strikeouts and a ground out to get out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Post State needs at least 2. Down 7-5 to post Sioux Falls East Post 15. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Are you driving a 2014 or newer vehicle? Are there less than 100,000 miles on it? Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is prepared to give you top dollar. Again, if your ride is 2014 or newer with less than 100,000 miles, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you top dollar for it right now. Trade it in or sell it to us. Doesn't matter. Your vehicle has never been worth more than it is right now. Stop in at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayflt.com.
Overhead Door Company of Pierre is a locally owned business specializing in the sale, service, and installation of residential and commercial garage doors. They provide quality, dependable products with constant service and the peace of mind you need. Overhead Door is one of the most recognized and most respected brand in the garage door industry. For installation and repairs, call Overhead Door Company today at 224-6200. That's 224-6200.
Bottom of the 7th inning. 3, 4, and 5 for Post State as they face Ty Schaefer, Andy Gordon, Jaden Wiebe, and Jack Burkwan. Anybody reaches base, which I guess technically nobody has to, or I guess they can all 3 come in and score, and we don't have to have the 4th guy come to the plate. They're down by just 2, but if anybody does reach base, it'll be Matt Hansen after that, and then Bennett Dean. I'd be okay with Jack Merkwan hitting a walk-off home run.
That's what I was just going to say. First two guys reach base, and Merkwan goes deep, and we go out of here,
Hey.
all with and everybody with smiles on our faces.
I was going to say, I'm good with that. But Andy Gordon will lead off here in the bottom of the seventh inning. He is 0 for 3 so far. First pitch from Ty Schaefer over to Gordon. One's missed inside for ball one.
Probably the one with the biggest smile on his face would be Trent Merkwan, just to my right, running the scoreboard. He'd probably have the biggest smile on his face of anybody here at Hyde Stadium today, if that were to happen.
1-0 pitch misses. Lona's now 2-0. He already does have a big smile on his face. We were talking about him on the radio. Count is 2-0 to Andy Gordon. Left fielder in Lounsbury is playing the left center field gap. I mean, there's a huge, wide open gap over down the left field line that if Gordon just floats it down the left field line, he can get an easy double. I mean, he could pop that up a mile high, and I don't think Lounsbury can get over there. Counts 3-0, though. And that's outside of a 4-pitch walk, and that's the start that you're hoping for if you're Post State. And that will bring in Jaden Wiebe with 0 for 3 so far here in this ball game. With a runner on first with nobody away. Post State needing 2 runs, at least 2 runs, to keep this game alive. 3 will win it. 2 will send it to the 8th. Here's the first pitch from Schaefer to Wiebe. That one will miss for ball 1. 5 straight misses from Schaefer to open up here in the bottom of the 7th. Coach White yelling out some numbers for their sign. 1-0 pitch is Athens is now 1-1. I bet you that was the take sign because he had missed 5 straight. But it is now a 1-1 count, which means Wiebe can probably swing away now. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Schaefer. Long pause. Check over the runner at first. And Wiebe will sky this out to left field. Lounsbury going back, still going back. He will make the catch. Gordon was at second base, so he'll have to run all the way back to first. But Wiebe just mistimed that ball game up with one swing of the bat, and there's now 1 down to bring up Jack Merkwan.
Yeah, a ball that Wiebe hit all the way to the warning track, and a nice play by Lounsbury to go back and track that ball. Again, just a ball that carried a little bit, although if you look at the flag out in center field, wind may not be blowing quite as hard as it was earlier in the day.
Here's the first pitch to Merkwan. That one's taken for strike 1. Merkwan's at 1 for 3. Singled, grounded out, and then reached first on the catcher's interference. 0-1 pitch. Merkwan swings and misses. Throw back to first base, and that one will be wide of first, high of first. Andy Gordon will get to second. Counts 0-2. That run doesn't mean anything for Post State unless they get the second run to come across. I'm sure that might be a point from Sioux Falls East coaching staff. Say, hey, it doesn't matter if they score that 1 run. We can't let the other run score, but they now broke up the double play opportunity, and the error is going to be charged to the catcher in Boyum.
I thought maybe Gordon had a chance to get to third, but he's probably going to score on a base hit. I mean, you really don't. Again, you want to protect your outs at this point, so playing station to station is probably the smartest thing to do.
As that one dropped to the dirt and is now 1-2. And that's probably what Coach White was thinking, and is that, Gordon has to score, and doesn't mean if he's on second or third, somebody else has to score with him to keep the ball game alive. You don't want to try and be too greedy. 1-2 pitch. Merkwan takes strike 3, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th, and they'll bring up Matt Hansen. And Hansen's got to find a way to pass it along to Bennett Dean.
Shortstop, number 12, Matthew Hansen.
Hansen is 1 for 3 here in this ball game. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Post State down to their final out. In danger of being swept here in a doubleheader against Sioux Falls East. Here's the first pitch from Schaefer to Hansen. Comes in, hits him, and the tying run will get on base. Boy, that one's got a sting. That one hit him flush. Well, he thought maybe he was dropping down because it hurt, but he was taking the shin guard off. So it's now first and second, and the tying run is aboard with 2 away.
Yeah, hit him right in the right wrist. It looked like. I mean, Hansen came around, started the swing, held up at the last second as the ball just rode in on him and took one flush in the wrist, and luckily doesn't seem to be in a lot of pain.
So now here is Bennett Dean. He represents the winning run. First pitch to him is taken for strike one. Dean is 0 for 1. He flew out to the center fielder. Sprinkle in his first at-bat. Came in after was the starting pitcher and then moved to first base, so he came into the batting order. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Schaefer to Dean. And he'll foul that one away. And it's now 0-2, and Post State is down to their final strike here in the doubleheader. Runner at second is Gordon. Hanson on at first. Those two runs come in. Ball game would be tied. 7-5 is their score here in the bottom of the seventh. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Schaefer to Dean. Swings and misses, and that will end the ball game. And Sioux Falls East will get a doubleheader sweep of Post State. No runs in that inning, no hits, one error, and 2 men left on base. 7-5 is our final score in game number 2. We will step aside for 2 minutes, come back to wrap up the doubleheader. Post State falls in both games. Back in 2 minutes to listen to Post State baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com.
Wondering what to do with that pitted and rutted drive? B&B Equipment will get you covered. Wanting to put something down the ground? B&B Equipment will put a hole in your project. Need to even up that property? B&B Equipment can fill that need. B&B Equipment can deliver all your gravel and material needs. B&B Equipment is here for all your excavation needs. Contact B&B Equipment, 224-6727. A contractor here for you. That's B&B Equipment, 224-6727.
Innovation. It's right here. Avera St. Mary's Hospital keeps care local for you and your family, offering comprehensive care that has earned 4 out of 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services in hospital performance and safety. Avera St. Mary's world-class care is further supported by advanced technology, 2-way video e-consults, 3D mammography, and a state-of-the-art birthing center, so you and your family don't have to go anywhere else, because innovation lives right here in Pierre. Learn more at avera.org/news.
Your home and business are important to you, and you need quality furnace and air conditioning products and service. With a combined 50-plus years of experience, AirTech Heating and Cooling provides you with just that service. Call 945-0160 for sales, service, and installation of furnaces, air conditioning, and heat pumps. AirTech Heating and Cooling features the American Standard products. Sales, installation, and service. You want the best, and that's what you'll find at AirTech Heating and Cooling in Pierre.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As we welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium, it is a doubleheader sweep for Sioux Falls East as they win it 7-5 in game number 2. Won the first one 14-2. So Post State will fall to 2-4 now on the season. And Greg, the timely hitting for Post State just hasn't been there quite yet. It's 13 hits in 2 games, but they only score 7 times and never led at all in the 2 games against Sioux Falls East. And the ebbs and flow of baseball, again, can't get too low off of a doubleheader sweep, but it's you want to get those timely hits. I know it's probably frustrating for a lot of those guys down in that first base dugout right now.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is just right now the eights are just a little bit out of sync, and you can just kind of see it in their body language, and it's just unfortunate, but it's a long season, and we talked about the fact that the pitching just hasn't quite been as sharp as it was during the spring season. The bats are just not quite there. Just one extra base hit today, 7 on the year, 7 extra base hits in 6 games so far for the Eights after being very good offensively throughout the spring season. And so unfortunately, just right now, like I said, again, it's really early. We're 6 games into about a 50-game season, and so it's a long way to go. And you kind of want to work your way up. Certainly, where you're playing your best baseball in that 3rd week of July when the regions come. But right now, Eights have a chance to kind of get back on track with a pair of doubleheaders both Wednesday and Thursday, and then again on Saturday. So, like you said, 6 games over a 4-day stretch later on this week.
As Post State, again, now 2-4, you are listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. A 14-2 loss in Game 1, a 7-5 loss in Game number 2. They'll be back in action here at Hyatt Stadium with a doubleheader against Watertown, and then Mitchell coming to town on Thursday before the second Renner team will be in town on Saturday of next week or of this coming week. And great, also, too, the same thing when you talk about the hitters, but pitching-wise, still just walking too many guys, too many free passes in these first 6 games of the season, and that's kind of the one point that you can really look at of why this team's 2-4 and not maybe the other way around in 4-2.
Yeah, and coming into this game, they had 29 walks, then you had 9 walks in the first game, and then 6 more in the second game. So now that puts them up to 44 walks through just 6 games. So you're averaging 7 walks a game plus, I don't know how many hit batters, but it's a number. And so when you're giving up upwards of 8 plus free passes a game, that's an awful tough hill to climb. I mean, that's right there. That's just the equivalent of 2 runs that you're giving up just with those amount of free passes in an average ball game, and that's not even talking about any errors or other kind of mental miscues that you may have. And so like I said, right now it's probably a little frustrating, not only for the players but also for the coaching staff. But got to keep in perspective, long season. It's just the first week of June. Long way to go.
Absolutely. We'll be back on the air on Wednesday about 4:40 for that doubleheader as they take on Watertown, and then Mitchell will be in town on Thursday for that doubleheader as well. So Post State will fall in the doubleheader, 14-2 in Game 1. They lose 7-5 in Game number 2, as that'll wrap things up for us here in Hyatt Stadium. Pierre Trappers will play tonight here at Hyatt Stadium again, as they will take on Sioux Falls Sunfish, looking for a better end for this 3-game day here at Hyatt Stadium for the Pierre teams. Thanks to Jacob Mayer back at the station, our technical producer for today's doubleheader. Greg Dean to my right. I'm John Winkler. Back on the air 4:40 next this coming Wednesday when they take on Watertown. Final scores once again: Sioux Falls East wins Game 1 14-2 and get the doubleheader sweep as they win it 7-5 over Pierre Post State. As we say so long from Hyatt Stadium.
You've been listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Evermore Boutique, Wagner Auto, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Service Master, Rising Hope Counseling, Todd's Electric, Pierre Sports Center, AirTech, Gales Gas, Avera, Bank West, B&B Equipment, Overhead Door Company, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Farting Electric, Olson Plumbing, Agtegra, All Around Graphics, First Dakota National Bank, Comtech, Shane's Pharmacy, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Midwest Cooperative, South Dakota Weed and Pest, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler, Lamb Motor, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Sioux Nation, Kruger Contracting, Home Care Services, and Fisher Rounds. Join us all season long for Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota.